What is up, guys? My name is Zach. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and welcome to the day 172 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. There are a bunch of NBA organizations to which NBA fans feel are poorly run. Organizations that just can't seem to figure anything out, whether it be on or off the court. But I don't think I have ever seen a team as dysfunctional as the Knicks have been this year. Every day, every single day, it seems like something goes on in this organization that's just extremely unprofessional. And I'm not even part of the Knicks organization or a fan of the team, so I can't even imagine how the fans of the team must feel at this point. And even Kristaps Porzingis, as yesterday he skipped the team's exit meetings because he was frustrated with how the team has been this year. And this wasn't the first time which Porzingis voiced his frustration with the Knicks, as back in February, he said that there is confusion in the organization from top to bottom, and that there is a lot of stuff that isn't clear, and that it's hard to play like that. Phil Jackson also admitted to there being a disconnect between coaches in the front office. I think there's a disconnect sometimes with this team, and I think there was some rebelliousness with this team, and it's created some of the discord during the year. And I think that it has to stop, and that it will stop. See, I find it funny that he says that it has to and will stop, considering he is the one that causes all of the, what did he say, discord amongst the players and coaches and in the organization as a whole. From his insistence that the Knicks run the triangle when really no one other than him in the organization wants to or knows how to run the triangle, to the many times which he's taken shots at Carmelo Anthony over the course of the season, who is a guy that a bunch of the Knicks players, including Porzingis, looks up to in the locker room. Carmelo is a fan favorite in New York as well, so I'm sure that the fans don't appreciate Jackson treating the way that he's been treating him. Which is going to lead us to this, as yesterday, Phil Jackson came out and said that Carmelo Anthony will be better off somewhere else. We have not been able to win with Anthony on the court at this time. I think the direction with our team is that he's a player that will be better off somewhere else, using his talent somewhere where we can win or chase that championship. He's enjoyed playing here even with the losses, which of course surprised us because he's been on some very successful teams, but he wants to redeem himself as a player, which I like the attitude. I like who Derrick Rose represents as himself. He's very direct about taking on a big challenge. And I do agree with Phil Jackson. I think that Melo would be better off somewhere else if he wants to win. But was he right to say it as president of basketball operations of the Knicks? I don't think so. That just seems like something that you don't want to go to the media with. Something that should be kept behind closed doors and between Phil and Melo. But the thing is, Melo truly loves New York. He said it over and over and over again that he wants to win in New York. But Phil Jackson has said that the Knicks aren't and won't be for a while in a position to win. And Melo isn't helping the process go any smoother by staying in New York. And it boils down to this. Melo feels like Jackson is trying to force him out of the city that he loves, even though he was there first. Like Phil Jackson is trying to force him out of his home. And Jackson is trying to get Melo to leave so he can build the Knicks into his own image. The real problem in all this drama lies with things like what Porzingis did yesterday by skipping the team meeting. No player wants to be part of such of a mess. And for Porzingis to look up to Melo and then see the way Phil Jackson is treating him, that's not going to help build a good relationship between Porzingis and Jackson. And of course, it's going to scare away any potential free agent targets, because no one wants to play for a guy that is constantly taking shots at you. And personally, I do think that it would be best for Melo if he went somewhere else that he could win. And then if he really wants to retire as a Knick, come back when the team is more ready to compete at the end of your career. Sign like a 2-year deal at the end of your career and be that veteran off the bench. As for Phil, I think he needs to go as well. This organization just needs a brand new start from top to bottom. A first round playoff series that a lot of people expect to be really close is the Boston Celtics versus the Chicago Bulls, especially since the Bulls have been a much better team when they get to play on national TV. I mean, just as the Cleveland Cavaliers. That being said though, the Celtics are the #1 seed in the East for a reason. And I think that with really no one outside of Boston fans giving them the respect they feel they deserve, they're going to come out and play like they have something to prove. One player that you can specifically look out for though is Isaiah Thomas, as he seemingly always players with a chip on his shoulder. So stopping the 5'9" scoring machine will be a tricky job for the Bulls, but it's a job that Jimmy Butler more than welcomes, as he says that he's looking forward to guarding Isaiah Thomas in the series. I look forward to that matchup, especially what he's done this year for that team. I know it's going to come at some point in time. I don't know when, but I'm going to make it tough for him, for anybody that I'm guarding. Not just me, it's going to be a team effort. I'm going to get beat at times. I'm going to need guys to be there. If not, then we'll do it over and over again until somebody is there if I'm beat. But I look forward to that challenge. I want that. Jimmy Butler is without a doubt one of the best defenders this league has to offer. He is a premier two-way player in the NBA. That being said though, defense, even more than offense, requires a team effort. Like Butler said, no matter how good of a defender he is, one-on-one, the offensive player always has the advantage. So there will be times when Isaiah Thomas is able to get by him, which is when he will need his teammates to be able to be there and prevent an easy basket. That being said though, stopping Thomas is just one part of the equation. Boston is a really good team made up of a bunch of good players and a bunch of good role players other than Isaiah Thomas. And Butler knows that. As he said, you can't take him out of the game and think that you can win, because they got a lot of other really good players, role players that make shots, create for others, they guard, they rebound, pass the ball. They have a really good team. They're really good at what they do. So Butler is saying all of the right things here. Rule number one in any game is to never underestimate your opponent. If they just game plan for Thomas, then they'll have some other random guy just drop 30 on them. So taking out Thomas, of course, is a top priority, but they have to do so while also being aware of the other guys. And that's going to lead us to the question of the day. Who do you got? Who do you got in this series, the Bulls or the Celtics? I have to give respect to Boston since they were the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. It comes with the territory. But you know, the Bulls aren't your typical 8th seed either. They have some good players on that team, along with Wade and Rondo both having championship experience. It's just gonna come down to whether or not the Bulls play like the team that swept Cleveland, or that team that struggles to beat the worst teams in the league. Let me know your answers down in the comment section below. But now let's take a look at what some of you guys said in yesterday's video. Yesterday, after LeBron James said he knew why the Cavs had a good shot at repeating but wasn't going to tell us, I asked you guys what you thought his secret was. To which you guys said, the Cavs already pulled out their secret weapon, Edie Tavares. LeBron James knows that KD and Curry always choke in the big moments. That's what he knows, and he didn't want to say that to create a riot. LeBron's secret is Adam Silver and the NBA refs. LeBron's secret is that he reprogrammed JaVale's brain to assassinate KD during the playoffs. It's facts, McGee is a sleeper agent. LeBron doesn't have a secret, he just decides to actually start playing when the playoffs start. A variation of those comments is basically what every last single one of you guys said, except for the JaVale McGee ones. I think he was the only person that commented something like that. Edie Tavares, he was impressive in that one game he played as a Cav when he had those 6 blocks. But you know, more than anything, I think it was just LeBron James playing with the media. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe if you want to keep up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!